Yes, here I am. Quick escape from my little home village up to the runway, the flying club, closest to where I live. It's about a 3,000 foot, really nice turf runway, and the local flying club is also a center of mountain flying, meaning that here they train people like in this Piper Cup that just landed, in landing at those really challenging little mountain strips which are steep incline that I talked about in a different video. And across the fence here, the French Army with the helicopter base. Helicopters, rotor wings. Well, I never had a lot of things to do with rotorcraft except a propeller, which also is a rotor, kind of, in a different plane. Twice I was exposed, I got close to helicopters. The first time was I was still a student studying physics when I took a summer job. I think it was like 6 weeks, must have been 1970 or something like that, 72 maybe, with the German helicopter manufacturer at that time, MBB, Messerschmitt Bellco Blohm, which produced the first light twin engine helicopter in the world. And it was also unique because it has a hinchless rotor, and that made it much easier to do loops and all kinds of aerobatic maneuvers. It was quite a sensation at that time. And I was working with the group that did analysis. There were some problems with some resonance frequencies in the rotor blade, so a lot of, test flights, data analysis, data preparation for the then really, huge computer programs, some of them still on paper rolls, can you believe it? It was interesting, but it didn't really spark a lot of enthusiasm, apart from the fact that it was one of the ways for me to get up close and personal with aviation. And no matter what I did, every once in a while, this need, this urge came up and made me do things like that. Work 6 weeks with helicopters. And the second time was during my sabbatical in Colorado, where I worked with the National Center for Atmospheric Research and also with the glider people there. And one day they had a Robinson on the field and a young helicopter instructor, and she was doing a promotional 1.5, I think it was 1.5 hour instruction, so it was a half an hour theory and maybe an hour or something like that of a first flight. And I had just to fill up our STEMI that we used at this research project, and the fuel station was close to where she had her helicopter based. So she came over to look at this really strange bird with his long wings, and and we talked, and she said, well, you should come fly helicopters. I said, well, yeah, maybe I should. Well, if you can fly this glider, you won't have any problem of flying a helicopter, she said. Well, I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, I missed the opportunity. And right now I feel like I should have really taken that, 1.5 hour, and I think it was $100 or something like that way back when. And I should have gotten this experience flying one of those whirly birds. Well, it always reminds me that, carpe diem, as the old Latin poet Horace said. Use the day, make the best of it. And it was one of those examples when I didn't, and it was also one of those examples which every once in a while keeps reminding me, don't forget, use the day to its best. So that was my lesson for you today, maybe not. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.